In our school, me doing what I'm doing right now was not considered a career. You're an actress, you're studying to become a content creator. In fact, content creation is not even a career in the first place. It is something that has just come up in the world we live in right now. And so as I start, I want to ask the adults in the room, how many of you are doing what you wanted to do when you were in school, when you were 15 or 14? Just raise your hand. This is for the students' purposes. I just want to see how many of you are doing right now what you wanted to do when you were 14 or 15. How many? We have about 10 people, and we have more than 50 adults in the room. That is why I'm not going to stand here and pretend I have a blueprint to life. No, I do not. That's the thing about life. We had motivational speakers come to school. Somebody's going to tell you this is how you're supposed to study. This is the blueprint to life. No. But can you imagine being 19 and getting to know your why before the world and getting the world to judge you? That is our career right now. You get to make mistakes. You get to fall. You get to rise in front of everyone's eyes. Now, I want you to imagine your personal life. Can you imagine it being out there? How would it be? Would people see you the same? The things you hide, the things you want to talk about, the things you do not want to talk about. Sometimes you do not even choose them to be out there. Sometimes you do intentionally. Now, there is a psychiatrist who survived World War. His name is Viktor Frankl. He survived one of the most darkest times in human history. And so when he was asked, what do you think is the reason as to why certain soldiers survived? Do you think it's because they were strong? He was like, no. Do you think it's because they were the smartest? He was like, no. I think it's because they had someone waiting for them. They had a why. They had a reason as to why they had to go through that hard time, to go back home, because there was a why. And that is what made me survive in 2020. Now, fast forward, for those who do not know me, my name is Azziad Nasenya. I became a viral sensation back in 2020. And a lot of people thought, oh no, she's going to stay dancing. And that is why every time they see me on platforms like this, they see me acting, they see me on radio, because I do host a national radio station, Sound City, every morning from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're like, why is she doing that? Because you saw what I did. Just because I danced, it does not mean I do not have a why. I had my why. You just did not know about it. Now, at 19, you do a video, you become a viral sensation. Everybody has their own opinions about you. They expect you to stay there, and then boom, you've auditioned for Selena, you're acting. You're doing something else. Why? Because you're a jack of all trades. You do not have to have one why in life. I stand here as an entrepreneur, I'm an actor, I'm a content creator, I'm a journalist by profession, because I did study broadcast journalism at the Kenya Institute of Mass Communication. So you do not have to have one why in life. I remember coming in, I met a boy called Kelly. He told me he's thinking about becoming an engineer and something else. I've forgotten the other thing. And so I was telling him, you can actually do both. We have lawyers who are politicians. We have people who are doing 3 careers at the same time. Who says your why has to be one? But it's very important for you to know your purpose. And so people knew me from the TikTok dance. Now I'm acting. And one thing about my life, one thing about my story is purpose compounds. I did not know my purpose from the word go, but as I kept doing what I'm doing, it's like you're peeling an onion. More layers, more things. You find more things to do. And now you realize, oh no, content creation was not a career. You find a lot of DMs of content creators asking you, how do I do this? How do you post like this? How do you dance like this? How do you talk like that? And before you know it, I form a company called Synergy Content Creators Company, a company to empower content creators, to teach content creators what to do, the things you need to do, because this is not a career that was taught in school. This is something you learn as you go. So as you go, your purpose compounds. And that is how I found my purpose. And if I stand here and I tell you that today I have found my purpose, I'll be lying. Because I promise you, it keeps compounding. It keeps changing. It keeps adjusting. Adjust where you can. And when I talk about adjusting where you can is, I've learned that in life you'll fall many a times. Many a time. It's very, hardly do you find somebody who is successful saying that I failed. But being a content creator, I mean, sometimes you see my failure, sometimes you do not. Sometimes some will be exaggerated, sometimes they will not. But today, when I was told that I will be speaking at the TEDxStill I Rise School, international school, I remembered Maya Angelou's poem, Still I Rise. And I remembered one critical thing. In life, if you have not fallen, then there is nothing to rise from. What are you rising from? What are you rising from? Because that poem would have been, Never will I fall. But what does that mean? It means you have to fall to rise. So still I rise. Whatever it is that is thrown at you, whatever it is that you go through life, you have to rise at the end of the day. Because life is life and it's not linear. Today here there's somebody who wants to be a lawyer. I guarantee you might not be a lawyer. Maybe you will be. Today everybody here wants to be a content creator. I promise you, you could not be. And I just remember how in school teachers were like, co-curricular activities is a waste of time. Why are you acting? You're busy acting instead of studying in school. And I look at them and I'm like, do you know how much I'm making? I'm just like, bro. So you see, life is not linear. There are different things. People could become anything. In the next 2 years, a new career would come up. But then you should never lose your purpose. You should never lose your why. Why? Because at the end of the day, one day we'll wake up, Instagram is not working. It's happened a lot of times where they are having a glitch. What if TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all of them are gone? What is your why? Will it still make sense? What if that viral moment has gone? What is your why? What is your purpose? Will it still make sense? Somebody told me that if your why is not strong enough to survive people's opinion, then it will not survive a career. If your why is not strong enough to survive people's opinion, it will not survive your career. And we go to criticism. I promise you, you will receive it. From the people you know, from the people you do not know. Sometimes you will look at things and you're like, wait, what? Is that me? And most of the time, it is not about you. Sometimes the projections, it is life. We're human. And especially if you subject yourself to that particular level, you are handing everybody a slip to give you their opinions. You need to be able to understand that opinions are the lowest form of education, and every single person owns one, has one, owns one. And so in a world where everybody wants to be seen, in a world where you woke up today and you posted something, please remember it is not about you wanting to be seen. Why do you want to be seen? Why have you posted what you have posted? Why are you trying to communicate it? So wherever it is your how will take you, make sure you have a why. Because your why will get you in rooms. It will get you in places that trends or algorithms would never get you. Remember, life is not linear, and there's no blueprint to life. Thank you.